Hi, everyone. It's Tawnya Sutherland. We're here today with Angela Wills. I'm so thrilled to have her here. She's one of our many speakers, 20 speakers at vavirtuosos.com next week, and I hope you've got your ticket. And if not, you can go into the chat area and get your ticket through Angela's link there. But Angela, she's going to be talking about growing your list with bundles, and we'll talk about that in a few. But first, I just kind of want to introduce her a little bit. I've known Angela, I don't even know, Angela, how long I've known you for, but it has been many, many, many years. And she was a single mom working a dead-end afternoon shift in an automotive factory. And she quit her job to work as a virtual assistant in 2007. She loved working with clients and learned so much about what it takes to create a successful business during the time she offered services. And then she moved her business into the digital marketing world to add passive and reoccurring income to her business. And that's probably when a lot of you guys started meeting her through our network too as well. She's the proud founder of the Laptop Lifestyle Business Club, which I'm a member of. And it's a group focused on creating complete and total lifestyle freedom for its members. So I'm excited to have you here today. Hi.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, I don't remember exactly when we met, but I know that I certainly went to your website for support when I had my virtual assistant business. And I remember my first info product, like the first information product, was a case study of my virtual assistant business. And I went into your forum and asked people to basically review it for me. And I used those as testimonials. So that was like some key early days interaction in your group that helped me move forward into what I'm doing now. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that was the one where you got like all these clients in a really short period of time. Like it was crazy short period of time, right?
Yeah, it was, well, in the first 24 hours, I had offered a very, very special offer. It was like $50 for 10 hours of virtual assistance because I was working in that factory. I was just like desperate to get out of there. And I thought, well, what if I can get some experience? I did like 10 hours for $50 and I put it in a forum that I was a very active, valued member of a different forum. I got like 11 clients total, but like 11 total. I had to shut it down after like 24 hours. So I was like, okay, I better not just keep taking clients. And then I wrote a case study about it and my mindset behind it and how I served them afterwards and all that stuff. So that's exactly what it was about. Yeah, that was the first one. I sold it for $27. And that was the first product out of being a virtual assistant that I started with.
Yeah, very cool. And it was really interesting to read. I still remember it. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how she did that so quickly, right? And yeah, you were doing it at a cheap rate, but I'm sure some of them stayed with you over a long-term period, right?
Yeah, and I didn't stay at that rate. Like that was the rate because my mindset was, well, if I can get some clients and find out, what a virtual assistant is really doing behind the scenes, because I didn't know. Like I had been trying different businesses and nothing was working. I was still at the factory and I was like, all right, well, I want to do something. I want to be a virtual assistant. So I dabbled in it a little bit, but I still wasn't getting enough traction. And so then I offered this special thinking, if I can get a bunch of people and see what this is all about. And then I moved on to work with people, I mean, to this day, who are friends and I've partnered with and I've coached from. Like those were really long-term relationships built from that. And I didn't keep charging $5 an hour. I moved it up. Of course, no, they didn't. That was like an intro thing, right? And then I moved up from there. Yeah.
And sometimes we just got to do what we got to do to get our clients or get our boost or get our business just going, right?
Well, and it was to get attention, right? Yeah. It was like, okay, well, she's really offering something to the advantage of the client. Like but it was also to my advantage. So I never, I hear people saying, don't ever discount, don't ever offer a $5, but I don't believe in that at all. Like, I really got a ton of value out of it. They got a ton of value out of it. It just depends on who you attract. And in that group, I attracted, only pretty awesome people. And then when I moved forward, I grew my business more. Beyond that, I wasn't thinking about, making sure to attract your ideal client. I guess I got a little spoiled in the beginning, and it didn't even occur to me that I had to, like, set boundaries and, make sure I don't get overwhelmed with projects. So I made lots of mistakes along the way as a virtual assistant, but that was a good thing I did in the beginning. And then, I don't call them mistakes either. I call them, I learned from it all. So
yeah, they're just little learning bumps.
Yeah, learning experiences. And that's true. Like, I don't say that just to say I don't like to call, because it's a popular thing to say. But if you learn from it, and it might take a few times to learn from something, I don't always learn on the first try. You might have to try a few times before you learn it.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I might have to do a couple of things wrong, and then I finally get it right. It's just,
that's the way it is, right?
Some people just, boom, they get it right the first time and off they go.
Yeah, but business is lots of learning experiences for sure.
So that's probably how you got started as a VA then, was doing that, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was just like this little job I had before that I wasn't getting paid for. Now that I remember, I was like, it was so this guy who, I'm not even sure how I met him, but it was like a network marketing thing, and he had a magazine, and he had me calling network marketing companies to see if they would want to be in his magazine, and he was going to pay me on commission. So I was calling people but getting no results, and I wasn't getting paid for it. So that was one thing I did before that, and I was getting frustrated with that. So then I started made that offer, and then I got like a full clientele, and kind of really moved into virtual assistants.
And one of the good things was that when you made that offer too, it was in a forum that had some target, like some really good potential prospects in there. So that was really good for you too, right?
Yeah, what was key for me there was that I had known most of the people who had hired me, right? So I had been networking with them for a couple of years. And that was something that was key with me. I had been interviewed like a year or two ago, and I realized, because we kind of ran through a few different businesses of mine, like a few different things I had tried over the years, we actually ran through them. And the common thing among all of them was like, I kind of found a place to connect with people and communicate with people, like your VA networking, like the group I'm talking about is Mom Masterminds, which was owned by Kelly McCausey and Ella Siva. I had always found these communities, and they're not always the same, but I still do it now. Like, I've got a membership site, and I've just recently joined a community for membership site owners, and they have a forum, they have live events. So I think it's just that's a really key piece of how I've grown my business in any way over the years. Connect with other people.
Angela, she says, have you ever thought of coming up with a book called Lessons Learned as a VA?
I have not. The case study was a little bit of that, but it was definitely from the earlier on stage. Because I'm not a virtual assistant anymore. I definitely moved through different phases, and I went from virtual assistants, I did affiliate management, I tried a whole bunch of stuff until I landed to where I am today, but moved into website building. I could certainly do a lessons learned book, but it would probably scale a few more businesses as well.
Yeah, and Danielle, you can maybe put into the chat area Angela's business right now, the laptop lifestyle. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure.
For a couple of seconds here, and let them know what you're doing now. Like, what are you doing right now?
Well, and I think what I'm doing now is really has come from what I did then. So like when I got started, as I said, I didn't plan for the kind of clients I wanted. I didn't think about my lifestyle. I didn't think about my work days. I was in a factory, as you mentioned, working an afternoon shift. And so I just wanted out of there. I sat in the oven because this factory I worked at painted car bumpers. So the bumpers came through this huge oven that went through this huge factory. And once a year, the factory would shut down and we'd have to go in the ovens and clean them. And it wasn't part of my job description. And I really didn't want to be there. But they said if we didn't go, we couldn't keep like the other part of our job. So I was like really, really unhappy about being in that oven. So it was a huge oven. I was scraping out the gunk in the oven, like just scraping this messy, dirty stuff and just crying about being there because it was not, what I pictured for myself. I actually have a diploma in chemical engineering technology. I don't know if you know that, Tawnya. You might
know that.
Yeah, so that was not, when I went to school, not what I pictured either. But I had ended up there because I wanted to be close to home and I wanted to have a business. So it was like an in-between while I was trying to figure out what kind of business to have. Anyway, when I quit that, I just wanted to get out of that. So that was like kind of all I was thinking of. I started up my virtual assistants business and I got overwhelmed, overworked, and just completely overtired and just ready to quit. And I did basically quit because I built like this monster of a thing that I didn't want. And I quit, went to look for a job, couldn't find one, and came back and rebuilt. And I still wanted clients because having clients was an excellent way to get like immediate income. So it's like it's a now, I'm able to work. I don't have to worry about it. Like I get a client, I do the work, I make the money, right? So I knew that industry already and I rebuilt it. But I always was like looking for a way to leverage more things. And I didn't know that in the beginning. I wish I had built passive income right in the beginning because I think every business should have it. Even if you love working with clients and you want the hourly stuff, and that's awesome. Some people are like really want that and really love that. But I think if you build in passive, then when you can't work, it's something you can lean back on. And so to answer your question about the Laptop Lifestyle Business Club, that comes out of a passion for making sure that we can do what we want, when we want, how we want, and where we want. So any of us business owners, service-based. So I've got so many different business owners in the club. We've got service-based people. We've got people who are like yoga, anyone who wants to do stuff online. So yoga instructors who want to do like online training. We've got WordPress teachers, business coaches, health coaches, a bunch of different businesses. But the main factor, this is a membership that I have. So it's like a monthly membership. The main factor is we all want to have complete lifestyle freedom. So that's what the laptop lifestyle means to me. And I tell you all that backstory because I created that from that, the distress I created in my own life by not doing it the way that would have created less stress. But that's why it's like not a mistake. It's a learning experience that fuels the business I have now, right? So had I not gone through that, I wouldn't feel so passionate about, protecting people's time and making sure you're choosing, if you're choosing to work with clients or choosing to create more passive income, you're making the choices and you're not kind of just letting it happen or jumping from one thing to the next because that's the next best thing. Sometimes you have to do that, but also then you can start building passive and recurring because those things are awesome.
Yeah, and passive's really important, guys. And good example, when both my parents passed on, I was able to live in Ontario for quite a few months at a time and not probably work as hard as I should be, right? Because I'm looking after them or different things like that. Same as when you have small kids or they're sick and they've got chicken pox or whatever it is, it's nice to have that little bit of passive income coming in. And I know you teach a lot about that in your program.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I really wanted to say about it. But it's so important. It carries you through those hard times. And there will be hard times now and then, right?
Yeah, and that's all my club is about, basically. We don't really cover, we talk about income that you can earn now, but most of what we cover is email marketing, affiliate marketing, creating your own information products. We're just touching on memberships a bit more, but membership is something that's really key to my business. So basically, I teach what I know. I don't teach from any kind of I don't know how to explain it, but I don't want to say podium because I don't think a lot of people teach from a podium, but I'm just teaching from my own experience is what I mean, and what's working for me.
Yeah, and every virtual assistants in my VA insiders and stuff, we're always teaching them how to have that second line of revenue stream, that other revenue stream, because there's so many things you can do, whether it's blogging, you can slip in an affiliate link in your blog, and that'll be an evergreen blog post about something. Like I know Danielle, for example, she had an experience where she lost, or didn't lose anything, but had her computer break down on her, basically, right? And she used Backblaze. She was using Backblaze to get all her files back and everything, but she wrote a whole blog post about it, and it's still turning her money to this day when it happened a couple of years ago, because people will Google Backblaze and her blog post comes up, and then they buy it through her link, her affiliate link. So it's just an experience she had in her business that she is making money from now, right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of service-based businesses don't really realize how they can build passive and recurring income into their business, but I think they also don't realize the value of the experience they have. Like right now, and for quite a while, I haven't been in the service-based business, so I'm actually missing out on the ability to see inside other people's businesses and get that experience, right? So now I'm doing it other ways. Like I work with clients, like coaching clients, but I'm not even doing that next year. So I've got to do different things, like we do a group collaboration, and now we're going to work together in different ways. But if you're working inside of other people's businesses, you get this unique view that makes you really special in the way to share the information you have. So it gives you a lot of value from your perspective. So you can create a product based on something you're good at doing for clients. And that is something I did when I was doing website design for people. That was all service-based, right? And I was looking to move into information products. I always had my eye on that even before I was working in the factory. I had my eye on selling stuff digitally, because when I first got started, I sold soaps and bath bombs and bath salts and lip balms on a website, but I had to ship them. And it was a pain, right? We have Canada Post here. It was expensive. It was a pain. It was fun at first, but then shipping kind of got tedious. And I thought, the more you scale, the more you ship. And so I had always had my eye back then, before the factory, on doing digital sales. So then I moved from website design, and I saw all these clients coming in for website design, but they didn't really have the budget to have me do a lot of their work, and they also didn't have the knowledge. So I created a course from my they didn't know that they should buy a course. So I had to just redirect them. You need a course first. You need this information and education first, so you understand either how to build the site and you do it yourself, or you understand what you're going to hire people for. And so there's a couple of possibilities for you as a service provider. Train them and let them do it themselves, or train them and then have them come to you now ready to hire you. Versus if they come to you before they're ready and you take them on, that's when all the problems can start, because they're expecting you to coach them. You're expecting them to know what they need, and then there's a disconnect, right?
I love the nuggets having here. Oh, just a second. Something's going on here, guys. Hold on a second. I feel like I've got extra sound coming through. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It just seemed like it was echoing or something. Anyways, tell me before the time ends here, what's your session going to be all about? Because I'm excited because I may do this for VAVs next season. But tell me what your session's all about.
Well, my session is about bundles. So when I say bundles, it's like a bundle sale and giveaway events. So they're basically two kinds of events that you can participate in. They're very similar, but I'll tell you the difference. Usually in both, there's a large or even small number of people who get together. So different business owners, like Tawnya, if you and I got together and then we got 5 other people, so maybe there's like 7 people total, and we just took one of our products each and we listed them on a page. You guys have seen this, like you guys have seen giveaways and bundles, I'm sure, but they're listed on a page, and then either they're free if it's a giveaway, so someone opts in and then they get links to go grab all these free 7 little offers, or they're paid. So when it's free, we call it a giveaway. When it's paid, we call it a bundle. And I've been doing these for years and years and years to build my list, and mostly that's how I've built my list. I've done a little bit of other things, like I've done some webinars and telesummits, and but I found I got a lot of signups through giveaways, and I kept doing them. So that's what I'll be talking about, and I'll be giving like some details of how you would participate in a bundle event, what kind of things you could offer, and I 100% believe, like I said, that virtual assistants have so much to offer.
And the other thing is too, think about your clients and how you could go to them. Like, first of all, it's easier to keep a client and retain it and get more hours out of that client than try and get a brand new client, especially if it's someone you really love working for. And what I'm excited about with this bundle webinar is that you can take this strategy to your client and say, listen, we're going to do, maybe your client is a health fitness coach or something, and we're going to do a bundle giveaway and grow your list with all the health fitness people in the world, or whatever. Not in the world, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If your client is not doing these types of events, like they can add anywhere, like my bundle I just did, I added, so we had over 545 people, and that was a fairly small bundle. So we had 545 people total sign up for my bundle, and then 200 and something took my offer, my individual offer. So I've done bundles where it's been maybe 50 people, but that was always on the really, like that was the really low end of it. Usually you get between a couple of hundred to more people added to your list by doing a bundle. So if you bring this to a client and they've never been building their list, maybe they're not really, that's not their focus. If you can help them build your list, you're going to help them see some fast results by going and adding them to bundles. And if you know the process, and if you have some stuff prepared for your clients, it's really not difficult, and you can kind of get them into, even if you get them into like 3 or 4 a year, they would see a significant, if you get them into good ones, they'd see an increase in their list for sure.
Yeah, that's another good example. Like, they don't have to do one themselves. You could get them into one that is in their target market type thing.
Yeah, so there's 2 possibilities there. You could host it, and then that could be paid. You could help them generate a lot of money, because bundles definitely, they're a lot easier to promote than probably most things. Like, people really kind of go for them. Yeah. So you could host one, which would be a pretty big project for you. But I would definitely recommend you get them into some first. Like, they should probably get the experience of building them, seeing what they like and stuff like that. And that's pretty easy to do. And getting your clients results either way, hosting it for them or participating. So mine would be focused on the participation of my session that I'm doing. It will be focused on participating, so you can participate as yourself or help your clients do it.
Yeah, awesome. So lots of great ideas, and think of all the extra hours you can get from that client, either by, you could have a bundle package, that could be your next package, putting together bundles. I think that's the real rage right now too, isn't it? like, you know how we see different rages, things go by, and, you know, webinars were a big thing. So people don't go to webinars live so much anymore. You know, different things pass through their cycle. And I think bundles is just at the beginning, and people are just starting to hear about them and getting excited about them. I think almost like BC Stack. Remember, I promoted that a few years. It's like a bundle type, and they've got hundreds of things in their bundles, right?
Yeah, they had a lot, and they made a lot of sales too. Yeah, bundles do really well.
But okay, so that's cool. That's what we're gonna. Angela's gonna be talking about at her session at vavirtuosos.com. Make sure you grab a ticket. At least get into the free ticket part, okay, where you can get a ticket into our contest for $10,000 worth of prizes, and at least get that, and get onto our newsletter list. And I'm sure by the end of the week, I will have sold you a ticket to come, because it's an awesome event. You're not going to want to miss it. If you're a virtual assistant, make sure you're going to this industry conference. So much you're going to learn from great leaders in the industry, and just virtual assistants as well, right? You're learning from people that have been there and are doing it, and that's what I love about the VAVs, or use our hashtag VAVs if you're mentioning us at all. But let's see, Angela, if you could share maybe one little nugget of advice for the VAs in the audience today on, let's say, how to get started. What would that be? Because you got started, and look at how you've moved on. You've just done so many different things, and now you're in your place, right?
Oh yeah, I think I really found my groove in terms of what I'm offering. You mean get started like
just get started as a virtual assistant?
As a virtual assistant?
Yeah, what would be a nugget, like a little piece of advice to do that? What would you say if they should be doing one thing? What should it be?
Oh wow.
I know. Okay, let me think of something else here.
I can come up with something. I just have to let me think for 1 sec. To get started as a virtual assistant, I think my nugget would definitely be to connect with as many people as possible. Virtual assistant doesn't mean no relationships, and you have to be like a computer, because we're not like because some people use the term virtual assistant to actually describe computers. Like,
I know,
don't get it. They don't get the term in the industry the same way. But you can't be that. You can't be, you know, not connecting. So I think 100% build the connections. Don't wait for people just kind of work their way through your website. Connect. Go to networking things. Go to Tanya's event. Really build relationships. Every business I've done, from virtual assistants on to now, has absolutely had a foundation of relationships where they're friendships, real friendships that we want to help each other out.
Yeah, and you're talking about relationships with other VAs, typically.
With not only other VAs, like you want to make relationships with people who could be your clients, relationships with people you partner with, other virtual assistants who can refer you. Everybody. Be friends with everybody. That's my advice.
And that's great advice. Relationship building is so important, and it's going to keep your business rolling for sure.
Yeah. Know, like, and trust. You know, that's a true thing.
Well, Angela, I'm excited to listen to your Growing with Bundles webinar, because yes, I think I'm going to do that next season with VAVs. And instead of having our contest with $10,000 worth of prizes, we're going to have a bunch of bundles for all the attendees, which I think will be fun too. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And it's next week, November 5th, it starts. So get your ticket now. We do only have 200 seats. So, and they usually fill up. We haven't really had them not fill up. So make sure you get your ticket as soon as you can. And we'll see you there, Angela. Thanks for sharing with us a little bit about you today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks everybody for listening.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.